In the minimum income tax, it's $100 million of wealth or more.
Okay, so you think if you're really wealthy, you should have to pay a tax on your unrealized gain?
I think you should have to partially prepay if you're liquid, if you have liquidity to pay.
Do you think somebody, why can't you economists answer questions? Should any American have to pay tax on unrealized gain? Why can't you just answer me?
Yes, there are some who should.
Who?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into an intense congressional debate where Senator John Kennedy grills a Democratic witness on tax reform. It's a heated back and forth, and I've boiled it down into key points you need to know. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. Alright, let's get into it. The video kicks off with Senator John Kennedy putting Dr. Yeagan, an expert witness, in the hot seat. Kennedy asks him a big question. If you could rewrite the U.S. tax code, what 3 changes would you make? Dr. Yeagan suggests 3 major reforms. First, equalizing the tax burdens on labor and capital. Basically, he wants to close the gap between what workers and investors pay. Second, he calls for closing the Gingrich-Edwards loophole. Finally, he talks about stopping the abuse of trusts in estate taxes. Things heat up when Kennedy digs into Yeagan's views on a wealth tax. Kennedy asks if unrealized gains, the increase in value of an asset that hasn't been sold, should be taxed. Yeagan proposes a prepayment of taxes for the ultra-wealthy. If you're rich and have assets that have gone up in value but you haven't sold them, you should still pay taxes on a portion of those gains. This doesn't apply to those who can't afford it. Next, Dr. McBride raises concerns about taxing unrealized gains. He points out that European countries like France have tried wealth taxes, and it didn't end well. Wealthy taxpayers fled, and the tax base shrank. Kennedy questions why America would try something that hasn't worked elsewhere. Kennedy claims people are leaving high-tax states like New York and California for low-tax states like Texas and Florida. He argues this is basic economics. If you're rich, why stay somewhere that takes a bigger chunk of your income? Dr. Clausing defends high-tax states, saying they're still economically vibrant and attract talent. But Kennedy isn't buying it, pointing to study after study that shows people are voting with their feet. The debate hits a deeper philosophical level. Kennedy believes individuals can spend their money more efficiently than the government. He's fundamentally opposed to the idea that the government can handle taxpayer dollars better. Dr. Yeagan and Dr. Clausing argue for a progressive tax system for a balanced and fair economy.
To pay.
Do you think somebody, why can't you economists answer questions? Should any American have to pay tax on unrealized gain? Why can't you just answer me?
Yes, there are some who should.
Who?
The ultra-wealthy who have liquidity should prepay some tax.
What if they don't have liquidity?
They should not have to pay, and they will owe at sale, bequest, or gift.
So if you have cash, you ought to have to pay, but if you don't have to pay?
To prepay. I have in my testimony, there are examples of how this works so that you can preserve incentives to build a new company, take it public.
Okay. What do you think, Dr. McBride? Do you think we should start taxing unrealized gains? And what do you think that'll do to the economy?
Well, I have several concerns about the approach. The first of which is it's completely untested. It's never been tried in this country. We have more than 100 years of history with the income tax, and
Europe's tried it, haven't they?
No, they've tried wealth taxes.
Yeah.
Their experience with wealth taxes has
been. How did that turn out?
Bad. It resulted in a lot of taxpayers exiting the country, for one thing. In France, for instance, other countries that have tried it. And you suddenly lose a big chunk of your tax base that you're trying to tax there. We have that option in this country as well. The result has been that most of those countries in Europe that have tried a wealth tax have rolled them back, including France, because they were administratively challenging. The basic challenge is what you're describing, trying to value assets without real market transactions. So this is a valuation dispute. It means we get the IRS engaged in yet another challenge. They're currently doing this with the estate tax. Those estates that are subject to the estate tax, those valuation episodes can go years and years and years.
Can I have 30 more seconds?
Proceed.
Dr. Is it Clausing? Clausing?
Yes.
Yeah. Why do you and Dr. Yeagan, why do y'all want to punish wealthy people?
I think I can speak for both of us that we're not interested in punishing anyone. We're interested in
You're
having
interested
a
in taxing
fiscal
the hell out of them
system.
more than anybody else.
I think
What makes you think that making tax policy on the basis of class or status makes sense?
I think it's a very American phenomena that throughout the history of the income tax, we have valued progressivity, and our current income tax does that. We used to rely on things like tariffs to raise revenue. Tariffs are regressive consumption taxes that disproportionately hurt the poor. We believe in this country that those with the greater ability to pay should pay more of the burden. And that's part of what a healthy capitalism does. It enables people to gain from things like trade and technological change and business innovation, and to contribute a little more to the fiscal system when they're very successful in doing so. And I think that that's a very legitimate way to structure the tax system.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Why do you think so many wealthy people are leaving New York City?
New York City is, an incredible city of innovation, immigration, entrepreneurship.
Yeah, but why are so many wealthy people leaving?
I think there are big advantages to living near centers of entrepreneurial activity, and we see that on the West.
You think they're leaving to be nearer to centers of entrepreneurial activity, do you?
Well, I don't think there are a lot of people, fleeing New York City. That New York City has.
Sure there are. There are thousands. I mean, there have been study after study after study. Why are so many wealthy people leaving New York City?
I think there's an enormous number of wealthy people who are in New York City and continue.
But why are so many leaving?
I can't speak to why particular people
I can
leave.
tell you why. It's taxes. You know that as well as I do. It's taxes.
I think if you look at the economic...
Some of it's crime, but most of it is taxes.
Well,
people vote with their feet. The same reason that people are leaving California and moving to Austin.
If you look at California, it's one of the most successful economies in the world, and it continues to be so. It attracts people.
But they're losing people.
I don't think it's in any danger of decline, nor is New York City. And these are very vibrant places.
I don't think we're going to ever agree.
Reasons. Yeah.
I don't think we're going to ever agree. But I appreciate the time of all three of you.
Thank you.
So, that's the gist of it, an intense debate on taxes, wealth, and government spending, with no clear resolution in sight. Kennedy and the witnesses fundamentally disagree on how to tax the rich and whether the government or individuals should control that money. Thanks for sticking with me through this breakdown. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, hit that like button, drop a comment below on where you stand in this debate. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into today's hottest issues. See you in the next one.